Hi guys, it's Shannon with some more bookish musings. Today I want to talk about Bret Easton Ellis, Less Than Zero. He's mostly known for American Psycho, which I read years ago and absolutely loved. Also loved the movie, but the book was better. This is the second book I've read by Bret Easton Ellis. It seems like when I look at reviews online, people either love this book or hate this book. For me, I'm in between. And maybe I'm the only one who's in between, but I absolutely loved American Psycho. Like love that book. So I was really expecting a lot from this one. And I wouldn't say it let me down. It's a good book. It's well written. It's impactful. It's dark. It's good. It's a good book, and especially when you consider he was like 18 or 19 or 20 when he wrote it, like during that time period, and then it got published when he was only 21. So, you know, it's his first novel. He was very young when he wrote it. It's incredible to be published that young, really, and to have such a successful book out of it. But it wasn't as good as American Psycho. And of course, writers grow. You know, the more you write, the more you grow as a writer. And the more you do something, the better you get at it. I think he wrote this while he was in college. Which makes sense. I mean, of course your writing is going to get better. My writing is better than it was when I was in college, that's for sure. And it's not really even that the writing's not great. It's good. It's not as good as American Psycho. But that's my personal opinion, and a lot of people disagree with that. Tell me, if you've read both books, which did you like better and why? For me, I found maybe the last third of the book, maybe less than that, was really, really good. There was a lot that happened during that last third or that last quarter of the book. I mean, a lot of bad stuff, a lot of dark, horrible stuff. There was, you know, the gang rape of a 12-year-old girl. There was a snuff film that people were enjoying. They find a dead guy in the back of a building and they stick a lit cigarette in his mouth. I mean, it's some bad stuff. And sorry for the spoiler alerts, but if you haven't read it by now, you're probably not watching this review. There's a lot of really dark stuff in there, which I love, because I'm all about the darkness. But American Psycho had a lot of dark stuff too. And American Psycho had great humor, dark humor. There's not really very much humor in Less Than Zero. The title, by the way, Less Than Zero, comes from the lyric of and title of an Elvis Costello song. And the main character, Clay, in the book has an Elvis Costello poster on his wall. And he talks about the eyes in the poster, you know, looking at him when he's looking out the window. So it was kind of cool that he used an Elvis Costello song for the title. And in the song, I think the lyric in the song is, everything means less than zero. The book even takes it further than that. And not only does everything mean less than zero for the characters in the book, but the characters themselves are less than zero. Like, they don't even hardly rate as human beings. They're so morally bankrupt and numb and uncaring and unfeeling and just really almost zombies. They're less than zero, you know, and so is everything else in their world. They have parents who are rich and who gallivant around the world instead of staying home and parenting. So these teenagers are left running wild with, you know, they've got their parents' houses and they've got Ferraris and they've got all the money they could possibly want. And all they do is party. And so Clay, the main character, has gone off to college. on the East Coast. And he comes back to California, Los Angeles, for Christmas vacation. And I think it's 4 weeks. It might be 2, but I think it's 4 weeks. And that's the time period of the book. And mostly it's like he's seen his friends and his home in a different light now that he's been away for 4 months at college on the East Coast. And he comes back and he's a different person than he was. But his friends are still the same, and his parents are still the same, and his sisters are still the same, and nobody really cares about anything other than themselves and spending money and shopping and having fun and doing drugs and partying, and that's all they do, and make movies. And of course, everybody wants to make a movie in Los Angeles. But it's like Clay he's progressed a little above that in his 4 months away. And I get the feeling that maybe before he went away, he was just like them. Now he's a little bit different. He comes back a little bit changed. He still doesn't really care that much, but it's more because if he did allow himself to care, that would be too hard, and he wouldn't be able to handle it. And there's a line in the book where his ex-girlfriend Blair is asking him if he ever loved her, and he says no. And she said, "Did you ever care about me?" And he said, "No. To care would make everything worse." And that's near the end of the book, and that really sums up the main character for me, that there's so much pain and anger and frustration and disappointment and darkness around him and in his life and in himself, that if he allowed himself to care about his girlfriend or his parents or his sisters or his friends, it would be too much. And there are a few times in the book where he actually cries, once in the psychiatrist's office and once I forget where. And it's like he has all of this emotion in him that wants to come up and needs to come out, and he's just pushing it back because to care would make everything worse, because then you would have to look at the people around him and how less than zero it all really is. So he does what they all do. He numbs himself with drugs and alcohol and just parties. And he's not enjoying himself at these parties. Maybe he used to, but now he's not. He's just too numb to even enjoy partying. And every time he starts to feel anything, push it back down, do some more drugs, drink some more alcohol, just get rid of that feeling because we can't handle the feelings. I think that explains a lot of people. I know it's, a certain time period of Los Angeles, but it really, you can apply it to any time period. People haven't really changed that much. The people who care too much, a lot of them bury their feelings with drugs and alcohol and whatever else it takes to numb themselves so that they don't feel so much pain, because it's the ones that aren't feeling or seeing or thinking that are having all the fun, right? But anyway, that's just kind of my 2 cents on it, but it's a good book for sure. It's deep and it's dark. Short sentences, sort of a little Hemingway-ish, but it's good. And for a first book, it's fantastic for somebody who was like 19 when he wrote it, but it's, I don't know, people compare it to American Psycho, of course, because those are the 2 books he's best known for. But to me, American Psycho is a dark satire, and Less Than Zero is dark realism. That's what I think. I don't know. Maybe people don't agree with that. Maybe they think this is satire too, but I really feel like it's not. I really feel like that world exists. It existed then, it exists now, it probably always will. And it's the dark side of reality. And you know, why are these kids like this? Why are they so emotionless and uncaring? And the parents, you know, the parents in this book, all of them are just, like I said, gallivanting around the world with their millions of dollars. And, you know, they give their kid money and a mansion to live in and a Ferrari to drive, and they think that that's being a good parent, but it's not. Meanwhile, your kids are all out doing coke and passing out drunk and having sex with numerous people, having abortions even. It happens. It happens. And so why are the kids like that? Well, because the parents are like that. Because the parents aren't caring enough about their kids. They're running around, you know, having a good time. And so what do the kids learn to do? They learn to have a good time. Nothing matters. Everything's less than zero. Even the people. So anyway, those are just a few thoughts. There's lots of reviews out there on this. A lot of people disagree with me. A lot of people think that this is Bret Easton Ellis's best book. To me, American Psycho, of the two that I've read, is his best, but that's my personal opinion again. This is a very good book, no doubt about it. And if you like dark realism, with maybe some satire in there, I don't know. Yeah, give it a try. If you liked American Psycho and you've read this one, tell me your thoughts on the two of them. I'd like to know which one you preferred and why. Anyway, that's all I have today. Hope you're all enjoying the sunshine. It's beautiful here in Nova Scotia. Tell me what you're up to, and until next time, keep reading.